After you have verified your configurations and you have also verified any ACLs in the path or ACLs on the firewall, the next thing you need to verify is your TCP sessions. It's important to note that your TCP session, when you're troubleshooting BGP, your BGP connection should always be in established state. Established connection on port 179 and the remote peer can be on a random selected source port or destination port, but your TCP connection should always be in established state. If it is not in established state, you might want to revisit your ACLs or your present active TCP connections on your router. It may so be possible that due to certain conditions, your TCP entry is showing established on one side and not on the other side. As a best practice, always verify the TCP connection. How you can verify the TCP connections? Using a simple command, show TCP brief. Now if you look at the command, it says the local address, the foreign address, and if you notice, the local address is having 192.168.1.1.179. The 179 is the port number, and the foreign address is having the port number of 46408. It can be any random port number. The most important thing to verify here is your state is established. If it's not an established state, that's where the problem is. On ISXR, you have the similar command. The only difference you might see is it adds or provides some more information, like the VRF IDs, which is for global address family. You have your receive and send queues because it also shows statistics for those queues. Instead of TCB, you have PCB, but they are the same thing. TCB stands for TCP control block, whereas PCB stands for protocol control block. It means the same. We'll see when to use those TCP and PCB values later during the course of the video. But right now, what's important is your states are an established state. In Nexus, the command is a little bit different. There's no TCP brief command. Here you have show sockets connection TCP, and you can see that the TCP is an established state, and it will show you what is the peering IP, the local as well as the remote. And that's how you can verify your TCP connection are in established state or not. If they're not, best thing to do is go back and verify your ACL configurations. And a quick thing that you can do to perform a TCP path verification is to perform a telnet. Using telnet and to the remote peering IP with the port 179. But hang on, there's one more important thing to it. Like we used to do the ping sourcing the peering IP, you also need to do the same thing when trying the telnet on the BGP port number. What you do is telnet, the remote peering IP, port number 179, and you specify the source interface of your peering IP, which is your loopback 0. And now you will see that it might say connection timed out or remote host not responding, instead of saying connection refused by remote host. Well, the connection was refused by remote host because it was not configured to peer with your physical interface IP. It was configured to peer with your loopback interface IP. And thus, the second one output, if you see, it says connection timed out or remote host not responding. And it's a quick way to verify if there are any ACLs in the path that are actually blocking your BGP packets.